All right, so back in action here. Beginning of the second quarter. So Tyson Kraft, the only football player on I guess both sidelines that ended up scoring in the first quarter, and of course that I believe is the leading score coming out of last year for Elkins. So Tyson Kraft, I believe he might have been like 21. He definitely had a 20-some number last year, and he went to a single-digit number. It does seem like that usually is what a lot of this is going to make me sound like an old-timer, but a lot of the younger generation likes to have is those single digits. So back when I played, usually it was, of course, you get a quarterback with a single digit, this and that. But a lot of times, I think it's more like college and also high school. A lot of times you see those D linemen and D edges, and a lot of times they want that. Oh, here we go. Ooh, so in and out of the hands of the receiver. And that, like I said, that would have been a big play to start the second quarter. That's Caden Cole, the receiver, 6'2", 170-pounder. So that's the type of play that I'm sure he's going to be thinking about tonight prior to going to sleep, as well as that's probably going to be played in game film review starting next week. So yeah, he's probably gonna see that play a few times. So hopefully they can dial up something again at some point so he can get some redemption. But overall a good fluid route by the receiver, and also a good way of showcasing the arm talent for the quarterback. So shotgun formation, again, design run. Really like the fact that this quarterback is a dual threat. So he kind of pinballed, like I said, yards after initial first contact. So that's kind of cool to see, and very interesting to see a quarterback that does not shy away from contact. That's Kobe Miles, the junior, 6 foot, 175-pound quarterback. So, he's already showed some nice tools so far that he can draw from. Has a pretty lively arm, and is able to read and scan the room pretty well as the field. So we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back right after this. All right, so back in action here, short side of the football field for Heights. Heights faithful. Hopefully, looking forward to hopefully a score-tying touchdown and a positive extra point. So a quick little. So sometimes this will happen. You get a running back that starts looking upfield before he secures the ball in the breadbasket, and that's what we saw. But like I said, it's one of those things that you see it a lot, whether it's high school, college, or the pros. Sometimes it's like your brain sometimes is functioning faster than your body, vice versa. You get a little excited because you see some daylight. But that is the junior Corian Jacobs, 5'9", 170-pounder. So Kobe Miles, I'm trying to see, is that number 8 or number 2? It looks like he gets brought out of bounds and tackled. So this could be possibly a flag on Elkins for a late hit. But let's see what the officiating crew states here. Okay, so it looks like 2nd and 10, so it does not appear like they did it. So empty backfield, shotgun formation, 14 in motion, near side to far side of the football field. Kobe Miles feeling some pressure, but doing a great job of being able to fill and kind of like within the pocket. He has great pocket awareness, but in and out of the hands, I believe, of 88, the intended receiver. That is Christopher Martin, 6 foot, 160-pound receiver. All right, so it looks like ball's going to be about the 27-yard line roughly. So Kobe Miles, shotgun formation, barking out the signals. Going to go 14 and handoff, and 14 does a good job with, kind of scoots it to the left and then goes upfield, middle of the field. So that is Keon Dickerson, 5'10", 155-pound junior. So great job, and actually I believe the first time called his name this evening. So under 10.5 minutes to go. Kobe Miles barking out the signals. Twins flank bottom end of your screen. It looks like Kobe Miles might be dialing up an audible here, possibly. So shotgun formation once again. Kobe Miles doing a good job of looking to the sideline for some guidance, and unfortunately there is some pre-snap movement. So usually that's going to be called on the offense. So we'll see the official call on this. It is. So false start on the offense. So, yes. So unfortunately, that'll bring up a 4th down. We're going to see here. So it looks like they might be lining up. So like I said, anytime you see a high school football kicker setting up anywhere really beyond 30 yards, you just don't see a lot of kickers that have that kind of leg. So it's kind of cool to see this. So the place hold's going to be at the 31-yard line. Of course, you add 10 yards for the end zone, so that is going to be an estimated 41-yard field goal attempt. So this is a fairly notable field goal attempt at the high school level, regardless of classification. So kick is going to go up on the way, and it is good. So positive 41-yard field goal for number 9. That is Joseph Chavez, the senior, 5'11", 225-pound linebacker that built like a linebacker and also kicks. So he's got quite the strong leg as well. So 9:40 to go, 6-3. Now with that blocked extra point, now we're seeing how significant that is. Now it's a one possession ball game, 6-3. So we'll be back right after this. Okay, so back here, 6-3 your score, 9:40 to go, and 41-yard field goal once again for Mr. Joseph Chavez, the senior. And what's pretty neat too is Joseph Chavez, who just nailed a 41-yard field goal, isn't even the kickoff kicker. So that goes to show that they even have someone with the leg that could potentially kick longer than Joseph Chavez. So the kickoff goes to about the 8 or 9 yard line. That's Saxa Gummabong. We called his name a lot significantly last year. Still on his feet. Oh, there is a flag, and usually when that happens, that is going to be a block in the back, usually. Or second option would be a hold, but most likely a block in the back. So we're going to see 2 flags on the football field. So, very, very indicative of a penalty on the return team. So sometimes when you see a hole that's, a little bigger than maybe what your eyes would generally register as, kosher or legit. And that is exactly what possibly most likely happened. And you did see Saxon Gummabong as he ran out of bounds roughly around the 25, if not 26-yard line. You saw that he did kind of like, he patted his thigh pad, thinking, he's like, man, that would have been a nice, kick return to put in the books, but it is all for naught, so it will be reversed. So ball is going to be at the, looks like 43-yard line. And like I said, so David Redd once again. So last year we didn't really get to see David Redd at all at quarterback, as it was pretty much 90% Roman Seymour and 10% the backup. So Redd, I believe, was more of a tight end. Now Michael Holmes, who last year was the backup quarterback, is now the starting tight end. So 10 is going to go out of bounds. So great tackle there for number 11 for Heights. That is Elijah Hart, 6'4", 215. Like I said, that's a 99% measurable kid at the outside linebacker spot out of high school. So now officially under 9 minutes to go. 3 minutes have elapsed. Second quarter, 6-3 your score. Final night of week one, and it's been a phenomenal week one across the board. We'll kind of talk about some other storylines across the board. So down, that is Saxon Gummabong, and he is going to go off to the races. No one is going to catch him, and that's Saxon Gummabong going to go in for the touchdown. Huge pitch and catch from David Redd to Saxon Gummabong. So 8:31 to go. Score is now going to be 12-3. So Saxon Gummabong, who almost got the kick return for a touchdown, but he went to about the 26. It got reversed due to an illegal block on the return team, gets some redemption as he hits pay dirt on that long touchdown right there. So we're going to see. Last time Elkins set up for an extra point, Heights blocked it. So in the back of that kicker's mind, he's going to be like, we need to get this kick a little higher. And that's exactly what he does. And that is going to go up and true. So 13-3, your score, 10-point advantage, 8:31 to go. Elkins leading Heights, Hall Stadium on Saturday Night Football. We'll be back right after this. All right, so back in action here, 13-3 your score. Elkins leading Hall Stadium. So I still think officially we call Mercer the flagship stadium because it's more like the longer stadium overall, but this is Kenneth Hall Stadium, who's named after the former Sugarland. I believe it was old school Sugarland High School. Like, you see the amount of yards over the course of his career that he had and all those touchdowns he had. I believe back in the day it was called the Sugarland Express. I think he might have the overall yardage record potentially in school. If not, Derrick Henry might have actually surpassed it, because if you look at Derrick Henry's yardage that he had over the years for Yulee High School, I believe out of Florida, but you really get to see and appreciate how far Kenneth Hall back in the day was with the Sugarland Express. So back in action here, 8:31 to go, 13-3 your score, and now it is Heights right around midfield. So Kobe Miles loading up for a big shot. So he's going to hit 13 up the middle, and he tries to take it outside. But before he does that, about 2 or 3 Elkin Knights get in the way and bring him down to the turf. All right, so Kobe Miles, and then we're gonna So yeah, usually when you see a offensive, blocker bring him down like almost like a tackle, this is probably gonna be a hold on number 2. Okay, so that was a hold on number 2. So we're going to see where they're going to put the football back here. So 7:59 to go, 13-3 still your score in favor of Elkins. All right, shotgun formation once again. Kobe Miles and the running back Corian Jacobs. So Jacobs going to get the handoff, and he's going to get brought down by, I believe, Jacobs might have got 1, maybe 2 yards on that one. So it was 1st and 21, might be second and maybe 19 or so. So we're going to see once they adjust that. Clock continues to run, approaching about halfway through this second quarter. So Kobe Miles, once again, the quarterback, and Corian Jacobs kind of flanked diagonally to his left. Kobe Miles filling the rush. And he's going to get brought down in the backfield by, I believe this is number 8, and that is number 8 for Elkins. That is going to be Omusefe Ayumire, the junior. So pretty good play for that young man. Okay, so third and long situation. So we don't typically see most playbooks don't have a lot of third and what's referred to as a country mile situation. So it looks like there's a flag. And they're going to call it on the offense. So it looks like 5 yards back, I believe. So instead of 3rd and 22, it could be 3rd and 27, potentially. So ball was at the 48. Now it's at, I believe, the 43 or 42 at 3/4 yard line. So we are approaching halfway through this second quarter. So first half action here at Kenneth Hall Stadium, Fort Bend ISD. So Kobe Miles, empty backfield. So Kobe Miles going to elude the rush, and he does a great job of splitting 2 defenders and getting at the bottom end of your screen. So I believe he still got brought down with inbound. So it looks like the officiating crew is still doing the clockwise rotary movement to get the clock to continue to run. So a huge third down. That was 3rd and 27. He did kind of bring it somewhat back to baseline. So it's going to be 4th and maybe about 10 to let's see exactly. So maybe 4th and about 10 or so. So we'll see here. So now inside Elkins territory at about the 47-yard line. So high snap, but the punter does a great job of fielding it. Kicks it to Saxon Gumabong, who had that. Ooh, that is a hit and stick by number 6 as he upended Saxon Gumabong. Saxon Gumabong almost did a cartwheel in the air on that one. So that's going to be number 6 for Heights. That's Jonathan House, 5'8", 170-pounder. It kind of came in like a freight train. So they move the ball back. So some people were thinking, based on the timing of the flag, after Saxon Gummabog got upended that it actually might be on Heights instead of on Elkins because you brought the ball back even further. So ball is going to be now right outside the 10-yard line at about the pretty close to the 11-yard line, 10.5-yard line, call it what it is. So David Red, shotgun formation. Looks like a few players for Elkins kind of moving around the formation. So David Red handed the ball off to Tyson Kraft, and so the Heights Bulldogs defense rallying around the football. So like I said, covering Elkins a few times last year, Tyson Kraft definitely very, very run heavy. Most of the time you kind of knew what was going on, but like you said, you respected the pass because you had a 6'6", 195 to 205 pound Roman Seymour back at quarterback. David Red, although he's a decently built young man, he's not Roman Seymour. So we're gonna have to see David Red get a few more throws under his belt to see if he can garner the same respect that Roman Seymour got from defenders as well as defensive coordinators. So clock continues to run, under 4.5 minutes to go, 13-3 still your score. So Elkins on top, but like I said, Heights is good as staying in this football game, duking it out. And it's not showing it on the scoreboard, but definitely see that Heights is kind of dialing up or game planning to try to bring this game back to 50-50. So David Red all by himself kind of did a screen, and that linebacker, that built linebacker that hit the 41-yard field goal, shows that he can play defense and stop a screen like that one. So great job there for the young man. That's Joseph Chavez, the 5'11", 225-pounder. You don't see a lot of linebackers that also can hit 41-yard field goals, but here we go. He's a hybrid. So under 3.5 minutes to go, you're seeing a little bit of a wind. It's kind of nice to have a wind now because, we're still in August, even though it's like a few days left of August. But it'll be nice to see it get a little bit cooler, but definitely not as extreme heat as it was, I believe it was 2 seasons ago, where we're starting off instead of 7, we're having to start games at 8 and 8:30 because it was that hot. So because of the heat index. So 2:58 to go, 13-3 your score. Quick little timeout. We'll be back right after this. Okay, so back in action here. Ball at the 6-yard line. So the quarterback, as well as we're getting 2 running backs. So one flank to the left and right of David Red. There we go. So safety by Heights. That play happened so fast. Like I said, I was trying to confirm. It's also just kind of knocking out the rust per se, or knocking out the cobwebs. So I don't broadcast in the off season, so sometimes it kind of takes me a while. And the older eyes too. Maybe I need some prescription strength glasses, but that's the reason for the delay why I didn't right away say it. But so Heights right now, like I said, so the fact that they have a safety, you don't see the safety that often. So you have the defense recording a safety, 2 points. So you got 2 points on the defense. You also technically have, they didn't score the point, but they prevented a point from Elkins on the special teams by blocking. And then the other part of the special teams is, and then they have that 41-yard field goal. So very, very interesting set of points that Heights has scored 5 points to their credit. And then, which is nice to have the defense and the special teams have Heights back, because once that offense gets locked and loaded and ready to fire, then they'll be operating on all 3 cylinders. So they're going to do, I believe, what's kind of called like a punt/drop kick here situation for Elkins, because once you have a safety, you don't kick at your normal standpoint. So, so 88 has some running room, but he was unable to find anything, then decides to cut it kind of the other side up the middle of the field and gets it to about midfield. So not exactly short side of the field, but about half the field to go for Heights. So that's pretty good initial field position here for Heights. Let's hope the offense starts kind of getting their legs under them. Okay, so Kobe Miles once again the quarterback for the Heights Bulldogs. So Twins flank top end of your screen, Trips flank bottom end of your screen, near side hash, and we're pretty much smack dab at the 50-yard line. So Kobe Miles with number 88, that was in motion, takes the handoff, and he's going to get just inside Elkins territory. So at the 49-yard line, and I believe now that's going to be 2nd and 9 situation for the Heights Bulldogs. So similar formation from the first play. Trips flanked bottom end of your screen. Twins flanked top end of your screen. Kobe Miles empty backfield, 18 in motion. Far side to near side of the football field, or reverse order. So Kobe Miles throwing it up for grabs. Nearly picked off there for number 23 for Elkins. That young man, Jordan Jackson, the junior, wants to get that play back. Kobe Miles glad he didn't get it that way. So 2:05 to go, 13-5 your score, so 8 points. So this is still potentially a one-possession ball game if you go 6 points and a 2-point with a 2-point conversion. So technically, like I said, that the fact that Heights blocked that extra point is still benefiting them at this juncture in the football game. 2:05 to go, so close to the 2-minute warning here. So Twins flank bottom end of your screen, Twins flanked on the top, 18 in motion. Near side to far side of the football field, Kobe Miles breaks and sheds a tackle, but he ends up getting tackled and brought down, I believe, by number 8, Umasafe Ayumire, the junior. So we've called his name a few times this evening. So timeout or slash 2-point conversion, or not 2-minute, but 2-minute warning. So 13-5 your score, 8-point advantage for Elkins. We'll be back right after this. All right, so back in action here. 4th and about 8 and some change to go. So 159. Ooh, little bobbler. The punter does a great job and actually, kicks the momentum going. It's going to go out of bounds roughly at about the 19-yard line. So Elkins is going to have some time on the game clock to try to see if they can extend this lead. Heights hoping to see if maybe they can cause a turnover, or try to see if they can get out of the first half with some more points on the scoreboard. Been a very interesting first half thus far for both teams. So Elkins led by Tyson Kraft and Saxon Gumabong, which are their top 2 returning starters from last year, both recorded touchdowns. There was a missed extra point. So David Red trying to air it out, bottom end of your screen to number 4, and that was a no-good exchange there, and that is Ethan Ramos, the senior. Haven't called his name out thus far this evening, but we're talking Heights here. So Heights, the special teams unit, blocked an extra point, so kudos to them. And then you also get that 41-yard field goal from the linebacker / place kicker / field goal kicker. And then you get the safety for the Heights Bulldogs. So that's their 5 points. So David Red kind of assessing his offensive unit. Twins flank top and bottom end of your screen. And we have David Red filling the rush, deciding to take it into his own hands, bottom end of your screen. And it looks like number 20 for Heights does a great job of bringing him out of bounds and stopping him. That's Domingo Herrera, so the sophomore, class of 2028, 5'8", 160-pound linebacker. Also first time we've called his name this evening. So 1:27 to go, under 1.5 minutes to go. Elkins trying to see what they can do. Looks like a timeout is called, which is kind of par for the course at this juncture. And we'll be back right after this. All right, so David Red getting the snap, and 11 gets him in the backfield, and that's Elijah Hart. Like I said, one of the top measurables I've seen in the greater Houston area for an outside linebacker, 6'4", 215-pounder. All right, so clock continues to run. David Red getting the direct snap design run up the gut. And looks like he is going to get that first down. That is going to reset the chains, and then the clock will continue to run after that. So approaching 1 minute to go, and now officially under 1 minute to go. So David Red, hurry up offense, going to uncork it. And he overthrows his intended receiver. That's Saxon Gumabong. Like I said, he's the preferred target / number one intended receiver the past few seasons for the Elkin Knights. So 54 seconds to go, 13-5 your score, and Elkins trying to see if they can go into halftime with some more points on the scoreboard. And then Heights on, of course, the other side of the coin, trying to see if they can get out of here with either the same result, if not trying to see if they can overturn something, potentially pick six, fumble recovery, see what they can do here. So a quick little timeout, 54 seconds to go. All right, so David Red quickly gets the ball out to 3, and like I said, that is none other than Michael Holmes. So we talked about him earlier. He's a senior. Sophomore year, he actually was the starting quarterback for Elkin Knights. I believe he's also an assistant coach's son as well. But then Roman Seymour comes in the fold last year. He went from starting quarterback to backup quarterback, and then Holmes then moves over to tight end. So David Red airing the ball out to number 4, bottom end of your screen, but unfortunately runs out of real estate as he throws it out of bounds. So 24 seconds to go. Still potentially enough time for, depending on how creative you have. Well, at least you know you got three downs for sure, as it's second and 13 or second and 23. So we at least know most likely they have 3 opportunities, up to 3 opportunities. Of course, sometimes if you get something in the middle of the field, there's nothing to go. Trying to see out timeout remaining. It looks like both teams possibly have 1 timeout to their credit left each. So David Red, shotgun formation here. And it looks like number 10, haven't really called his name thus far this evening. So David Red, with a lot of rush going on, gets it out before he gets upended. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 23 to go with 20 seconds left. Shotgun formation here for Red. Once again, trip stacked up the top end of your screen. So Red definitely going for broke here. And he overthrows his intended receiver, but you're seeing that other receiver is kind of looking at him like, hey, man, I was open. So there was a receiver that was kind of all along his lonesome, somewhat middle of the field, still trying to get his number here, as he looks like possibly could be number 10, 11, or 12. So I'm waiting for him. Okay, there he is. It's 13. So number 13 was actually wide open, but sometimes there was significant rush, and like I said, David Red, it's his first varsity start as a starting quarterback on varsity, so he's probably getting those jitters out as well. They'll probably review that in game film come starting next week. So punt is going to go up, and it's going to be an uncontested punt, so no one for Heights is going to do it, as they were kind of do it as a surprise attack, and it's going to be downed, and that is going to be the end of the first half. So 13-5 your score, Elkins over Heights so far, and we'll be back right after this for the second half.